This lotion harnesses the power of advanced ingredients to gently exfoliate the skin, restore softness and shine, all the while preventing ingrown hair. Let's go! After a few months of neglect, I realized my legs were far from summer ready. There were loads of bumps and my skin felt rough to the touch. Shaving is quite an irritating practice, and without the proper before and after care, it can be quite tough to get those smooth legs that we're all after. This is where alpha hydroxy acids or AHAs come into play. AHAs will help to exfoliate the skin by breaking up the glue between the skin cells, revealing fresher, brighter, and softer skin underneath. The benefits of using alpha hydroxy acids over traditional exfoliating scrubs like walnut shell or sugar is that there's no risk of micro tears. Because let's face it, we all like to go a little bit too hard on these kinds of scrubs. They are like a well-meaning friend that end up just overdoing it. Been there. Now, AHAs are the kinds of friends you want to have and aspire to be. They help you out by removing all the gunk, and on top of that, they give you something you didn't even know you needed, which is hydration. In fact, AHAs are hygroscopic, meaning they attract water to the skin, which will help balance out the drying effects of exfoliation. This also makes AHAs great for brittle nails. There are different types of AHAs, and these will have different strengths in terms of exfoliation based on their molecular size. Glycolic acid is the strongest exfoliating acid, and citric acid is the more gentle one. For this exfoliating lotion, I used a pre-made mix of different acids so you can get the benefits of different strengths. I checked and this mix should be available on almost all continents. I'm sorry if it's not available in your country, but I will leave a few links down below so you can check out where it's available. It is called ACB Fruit Mix. I really like this mix because the different AHAs are sourced from different fruits. So the lactic acid is obtained from blueberries, the glycolic acid from sugarcane, citric acid from lemon and oranges, and finally tartaric acid from sugar maple. Okay, now let's get into making the lotion. Let's start off by weighing out our oil phase. That will be Montanov 202, caprylic triglyceride, mango butter, and Behenyl alcohol. There are a few swaps you can make here according to your preferences and what you have access to. So for example, instead of caprylic triglyceride, you could just use jojoba oil, instead of mango butter, shea butter, and instead of Behenyl alcohol, you could use cetearyl alcohol instead. If you are a bit confused about the ingredients I'm using and what they do, I think you will find my video on the blueprint of emulsions very helpful. Now place that oil phase gently on the heat. Now measure your water phase. I also like to measure my two other phases that are more heat sensitive so that they are ready when required. So the heat sensitive water phase is composed of the hydrosol with the ACB fruit mix, the Siligel, and preservative. In hindsight, I would have liked to leave my ACB fruit mix and preservative until the very end when the emulsion is the coolest, because these ingredients are heat sensitive. So if you do this, just measure the hydrosol and Siligel because they are more heat resistant, and your ACB fruit mix and preservative later on when you're adding your heat sensitive oil phase. Another side note is that you can add your own preservative, just make sure that it is broad spectrum and can handle a lower pH. Now I'm measuring my heat sensitive oil phase, which contains passionfruit seed oil and vitamin E. Back to the main phases. I also placed my water phase on the heat and monitored so that it reaches about 70 degrees. Then I poured that water phase into the oil and blended at high shear. This will improve the consistency of the lotion and make sure we have a stable cream. Now add your second water phase and keep blending. Like I mentioned before, it would have been best practice to leave out the ACB fruit mix and preservative until the end. I wanted to add this secondary water phase while the main blend is still warm. Ideally, you don't want a too large cool down phase, which could challenge your stability. It was not a tragedy in my case because the mix was not that warm and my lotion did still exfoliate well, but I just wanted you to learn from my mistake. Now you can add your vitamin E and passionfruit seed oil, which will make this lotion smell super nice and fruity. Finally, adjust your pH so that you get to about 5 or 5.5. It's not one of those acids where the pH needs to be super low to be effective. Didn't start with the highest amount of ACB so that your skin can start getting used to it, but eventually you will be able to increase the concentration to 10% and reduce the water content by 10%. This lotion is therefore great if you are new to these ingredients and want to give them a go, but I found this effective enough at 5%. I didn't need to up the concentration yet. It is very, very important to remember to wear sunscreen because as we are exposing fresher skin, we are more at risk of sunburns and sun damage caused by the sun. This lotion is more for the days days before you shave. In an upcoming video, I will show you how I made this soothing and hydrating lotion based on oats for the days after you shave. Combo of both products has changed the texture of my legs in such a short amount of time, so consider subscribing if you don't want to miss that one out.